welcome everyone. Let's dive right in. We've been hearing about AI for, it seems like the last 5 years very intently. And the question first is there a consensus on the current state of AI adoption in business, especially in the case of LLM-based generative AI in particular? Are we still in the hype phase, or have organizations moved into more practical applications? First to you, Deborah.
Well, I think that the best way to describe it is that there are islands of practical applications within a sea of hype. I think that AI, for the most part, I believe we are still very much in a hype cycle because there's a lot of overestimating the things that it can do, and there's a lot of still misunderstanding of the best ways to apply it. With that said, there are just so many organizations that have just done an amazing job with how they have very specifically applied an AI solution to a very specific problem. And there I would say the best thing to do is think of AI in kind of two tranches. One is more classical data science, machine learning, predictive models, which we tend to lump together with generative AI, which is much more of a true AI in nature. But we tend to group those together. I think that you will see across all industries, financial services with fraud detection, manufacturing with predictive maintenance or optimizing yield, or retail with inventory management or demand prediction. Lots of very fit for purpose, focused projects that start with the end that they're trying to drive and have really done an amazing job of building from the ground up an AI solution that does what it's supposed to do and does it really well. I think that generative AI and all of the things, I still think there are some really amazing, in agriculture specifically, there are some incredible use cases. John Deere can use vision AI to spot a weed from a plant and just dispense weed killer to just the weed and protect the plants around it. There are these emerging very specific use cases, but I still see a lot of organizations kind of struggle to wrap their mind around how do we do AI? And to me, that says we're still very much on the hype cycle.
That makes perfect sense. Sounil?
I think the way I would think about this is we have the term artificial general intelligence versus artificial narrow intelligence. And what Deborah characterized is we are still in the narrow space. If we oftentimes confuse performance for competence across a wide range of different areas. In the workspace, we call this the Peter principle. Just because somebody rose to the occasion and got promoted to this next level doesn't actually mean that they're competent at that next level. But we tend to attribute that competence. We think, oh, they were able to do this really well. Surely they're going to be able to do these other things really well. Well, humans actually do have that ability. AI systems don't have that today. And so I think in that context, in narrow use cases, they perform exceptionally well based on the models that are designed for that narrow use case. But their ability to generalize is still very much hype today, which is why I think with all the concerns around AGI and are we close to AGI, I think the general consensus amongst those in the research community is we're not really that close yet because we don't have systems that can generalize as well as much as we believe they can.
Right. Because it's easy to see a result that you would expect and then say, well, that's obviously intelligence, right? Well, not always the case. But like you say, it's a matter of how focused that specific use case is. Eve, how about you?
Well, I believe we're in the transitional phase. It's something like what Gartner calls slope of enlightenment. It's where we are already kind of done with hype, but we are not yet experiencing full maturity. And that depends on the industry itself. Some industries are just starting with AI, like understanding it, applying it, trying it, basically experimenting it. And some automation, data science related industries, they're already quite, well, maybe not fully experts, but they are done with experimentation. So what I think the differentiator is in this case is the understanding factor. For those who are done with the hype, they're already focusing on the infrastructure, on the right data strategy, on the use cases, the governance in place. Those who are hyping about it, they're talking big, trying all, and still figuring out how to approach the future. So I think we are in the mixed phase, but I do believe we should narrow than going wide and prioritize things better.